I'm live in Antarctica. This week, Tony Blair told us he believed George Bush was about to have a climate change conversion. We speak to the Americans showing their president the way. Welcome back to the Antarctic, where scientists have been telling us this week something must be done and fast to slow climate change. The world's biggest producer of greenhouse gases is the United States, but as the Prime Minister told me earlier in the week, America may now be prepared to act. One state, though, has already started. The one-time action hero of Hollywood, California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger, is taking action against greenhouse gases.
The streets of San Francisco have changed little in the 40 years since they were the backdrop for the most famous car chase in the movies. In Bullet, Steve McQueen hurtled down this hill in a fully leaded, high-octane Ford Mustang. My car was a little different. A hybrid, in part battery-powered, this is the new way forward here. Okay, so it is slightly disappointing to be doing the Bullet chase route in an electrical appliance, but California is a changed place. Red-blooded cars are out and green-minded ones like this one are in. And the man in charge here, another movie star, intends to keep it that way.
As of today, California is going to be the leader in the fight against global warming.
It's a case of the converted preaching, for Arnie has gone from gas guzzler lover to green governor.
The debate is over. We know the science, we see the threat, and we know the time for action is now.
Schwarzenegger has decided that if Californians are to keep on living the dream, then their cars must become the cleanest in the world. Oil companies and car makers have been warned.
California wants to buy green, low-carbon fuels, and if you can provide low-carbon fuels to California, we're open for business.
These are demands California knows it can make. Not only is this a huge market, it's the trend-setting capital of the world. Most people here are happy to see their environmental aspirations being linked to their consumer clout. So far, President George Bush has shown little interest in global warming, but there are reports that changes are afoot and that he may be contemplating the introduction of new measures to limit carbon emissions. If it happens, it'll be a significant shift. But California isn't waiting for anyone. Experts here believe it's already very late in the day. John Irvine, ITV News, San Francisco.
Now, all this week while we've been here, you've been emailing our science editor, Lawrence McGinty, with questions, and hopefully he's been sending back the answers. Tonight, he's out in Hanger Cove behind me here to answer some more of your questions. Lawrence, over to you.
Mark, I've answered as many as I can, but they've been an awful lot. And one question that a lot of you are asking is the same as this one from Gail Martin in Portsmouth.
Hello, Lawrence. My name is Gail Martin from Portsmouth, and I'd like to ask you how long you think it will be before rising sea levels affect low-lying or coastal areas in the UK.
Well, it's a difficult question to answer that. The best estimate of how much sea level might rise because of melting ice here in the Antarctic is one that I got from Chris Rapley, the director of the British Antarctic Survey down here, and that's about 100 metres over the next century or so, by 2100. Now, that would certainly be enough to cause problems in Britain, especially in low-lying areas like East Anglia, perhaps the Thames Estuary, and maybe even Portsmouth. I think our second question comes from Colin Bye, who's a teacher at Fakenham High School and College.
Hello, Lawrence. My name is Colin Bye, Head of Geography at Fakenham High School and College, and the question that I'd like to ask you is the following: how will your trip to Antarctica change your life?
I think in three ways. First of all, as you can see, the scenery here is absolutely unforgettable. Secondly, the people we've met here, the scientists, the technical people, the boatmen, everyone at the British Antarctic Survey have been unbelievably helpful and helped protected us while we've been here. like Bernard, me and the boatman here who drove Mark Austin away from that collapsing iceberg. But the third and most important thing for me is that I think it's changed the way I look at things. When you realise that all this could disappear because of something you do at home, it changes the way you think about things.
All right, Lawrence, thank you very much indeed. Wonders of technology. Now, helping us on our journey here, and the scientists who work here, is a ship bearing one of the most famous names in maritime history, Endurance. It's the Royal Navy's ice patrol vessel. The first Endurance also sailed to the Antarctic back in 1914 on the famous voyage by Sir Ernest Shackleton to cross the continent. But it, or she rather, got trapped in the ice and was eventually crushed. He and his team endured 22 months in the Antarctic before finally and amazingly reaching safety. The last HMS Endurance also played an important part in the Falklands War, the only naval vessel in the area when it began. So, quite a name to live up to. She's not a fighting ship, but she's still sailing into battle. Smashing her way south through the icy waters of the Antarctic, HMS Endurance is en route once again to help in the struggle against climate change.
3, 2, 1. Mark time now, 0800 morning.
Military precision on the bridge as they plan the day's flying operations, supporting British scientists trying to work in some of the most inaccessible terrain on the planet. It is the helicopters of Endurance that airlift the experts to glaciers and remote islands they would otherwise be unable to reach. And that means Royal Navy pilots from a ship that's long had to justify its existence now have an increasingly important role to play.
This is the Royal Navy and the British Antarctic Survey working together, and we're at the leading edge of what the UK does in Antarctica. I'm totally convinced that the work we're doing now is essential. I think the timelines have all come left. We all thought it was going to be many, many generations ahead, but actually this change is happening now. So the work that we're doing is helping our understanding so we can do something about what will happen to us, and it's going to happen to us.
And after 10 days in this extraordinary place, it's clear there's plenty more work to be done here. Wherever you stand on the debate on climate change, I suppose the important thing is that the scientists really do find out what is happening down here, because upon the fate of this place, in many ways depends the fate of the rest of our planet. And so the ship named after the vessel used by Ernest Shackleton on his ill-fated voyage to this frozen continent sails on. She was given a reprieve after the war in the South Atlantic 25 years ago. Now she's being given yet another lease of life by another altogether different conflict, that of man versus the planet. Wonderful pictures. Now, I think Lawrence McGinty meant 100 centimetres sea level rise, not 100 metres. We don't want that, certainly. Two people I've got to introduce you to very quickly. One, Steve Gore-Smith. In you come, Steve. The engineer brought the dish out here, built the dish, and made these pictures that you've seen all week possible. Very well done to you. And the other chap is Eugene Campbell, the cameraman. All the fantastic images that you've seen throughout the week have been shot by Eugene, so tremendously well done. And one other person we've got to introduce you to, and here he is. This fella here has been with us all week. We've kind of adopted him, really. He likes our satellite dish. The crew have called him Guy. I don't know quite why that is, but he's a very nice lad, and we've been pleased to have him. We have thoroughly enjoyed broadcasting to you all week. We hope you have enjoyed watching. It's back to the studio. Welcome to a very different world.
This is the true southern wilderness. A tight squeeze through the ice gave me a glimpse of that world.
You get too near at your peril. You can feel, there we are, I mean there we are, that gives you an idea of what it's like